I think that diversity is a natural byproduct of purely meritocratic systems. What's up, guys? So I'm going to start doing a thing called Freestyle Fridays, where I'm going to pick a topic that I think I can contribute something to, and for 5 minutes I am going to rant on that topic, and hopefully it is meaningful. So the topic for today is diversity. Diversity, if you're not familiar, is the concept that every workplace, every university, every environment would be better if the people there looked different and thought differently, because that creates a sort of conflict, and that sort of conflict prevents you from making bad decisions, which you usually make quickly based on your own point of view. The conversation around diversity is usually, I would characterize it as merit versus diversity. So people on the merit side basically say something like, why can't you just hire the person who is best for the job? Why can't you just admit the student who has the best grades, who's best for the job? Why can't you just do this? Why can't you just do that? And the diversity side will say, well, it matters that people look different. It matters that this happens. It matters this. And they'll sort of make a sort of moral argument. So I just graduated, for example, a couple weeks ago with a degree in business administration. I'm from Nigeria. Now, there are about 181 million people in Nigeria. Let's say 90 to 100 million of them are young people. And right now there's a strike, university strike at home. So there are people at home. What that means is there are people at home who are just as talented or more talented than me at school, at academics, who take it more seriously, who are better than me, who will never get their degree or will get their degree later than me because of factors outside of their control, factors that are unrelated to their merit. And this isn't just in Nigeria, this is all over the world. There's probably a girl in Pakistan right now who has more natural mathematical ability than most of the people on the planet, but that ability will never see the light of day. She'll never get to Harvard, she'll never get to Yale, one, because of geography, two, because of culture, three, because of religion, because she'll be forced to be mutilated, she'll probably be uneducated, especially if it's a rural part. And this happens in Pakistan, happens in Africa, happens in rural parts of America, where it's more like your parents trying to keep you down, peer pressure, all of these things, drugs, based on the zip code that you're born in, based on gang violence, happens in Asia, it happens everywhere. There are people all over the world who have real merit, real talent that will never ever see the light of day, and most of these people look very different from each other, so stay with me. Just 1 second here. What if you could build a system where people won based purely on how good they were? Not what zip code they were born in, not what their parents looked like, not what country they were born in, not what language they spoke, not what religion they were, but based on how good they were at the task, how objectively good they were. Not how good Tim said they were, or Joe said they were, but how good they actually were at the task being performed. What a revolutionary thought. But we should all be striving to eliminate all non-meritocratic factors that play a part in an individual's success, so that we should judge people based purely on merit. We should ask people to run a race based purely on merit. At the end of the race, I think a remarkable thing will happen. I think that diversity is a natural byproduct of purely meritocratic systems. You see this in more objective fields. Let's say math. You see that now mathematicians come from all over the world. Before, if you look in your history books, that mathematicians, they don't. You see this in music. Right now, if there's some really kid who's really good at rap in the mountains of Indonesia, but they have access to the internet and they can get that into the world, not just music, but art. If there's a really good writer, a really good painter, and they can get their art into the world on the internet, they will win. Because there's no middleman, no one can stop them. Not so true if you want to be a professor or a doctor. Not so true. And so that should be the goal, and it's beginning to happen, of anyone who really cares about diversity or meritocracy, to strip away all of the systems with inherent human bias, all of the factors that suppress meritocracy. I've focused on other countries, not just in other countries. Why is there so much unrest in America right now? Part of it is that there are people, mostly in rural America, who understand intrinsically that they are better than most of the people at the top based on merit, but that because of certain systems, they're not being allowed to rise. That's what it is. That's why people are frustrated. When you fix those systems, there is a lot less friction, and you have people who are actually the best running things.